Here, Sally sits in English class. She has been given the assignment to write a personal reflection on a story that she had read. She sits in class at her desk struggling. Sally writes a paragraph, jumps back to the opening and creates a thesis, and erases and starts all over again. She writes down a quote that she knows she wants to use, circles a few words to replace, and then rewrites a paragraph again. With a deep sigh, she thinks back to the writing process that she was once taught. Is she supposed to be practicing it right now? What she is doing is working, but should she change to follow the writing process? Probably sounds familiar to you as well. The writing process taught us that writing is divided into 5 steps: pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publication. This is the way that writing was supposed to work. This made writing easier. But does it really? Think of Sally. She is following the assignment and her own process. She is starting over, writing down different ideas, and writing in a different order. Sally may not know it, but she is practicing recursive writing. In this lesson, we will discuss recursive writing and how it can help us in our own writing. Recursive writing means we repeat. In recursive writing, we forget about the 5 steps of the writing process and develop our own approach to writing. We follow the steps of writing as we want and revisit or repeat ideas as we see fit. Recursive writing means you do not just sit down and follow all the steps of the writing process from start to finish. It allows you to take the idea of the 5-step writing process and mix it up a bit to fit your needs. What is so wrong with the old approach? Although the writing process may be helpful for many people, it can also limit other people's thinking. Writing is messy. It is hard to follow each step in the exact order every time. Recursive writing allows us to have more freedom in our writing and to revisit and rewrite steps as we see fit. The key to recursive writing is recognizing that writing is a process that repeats. Do not think of writing as 5 neat steps that lead to completion and then you never visit the paper again. Rather, think of writing as developing, stopping, sharing, and changing. Even when you finish and have the paper graded, revisit it again. You can always learn from your writing. So, how can you practice recursive writing? There are a few different ways that you can practice recursive writing. First, experiment with different patterns and genres. Let's say that you start your paper as a personal story, but then you begin to read it and realize that you are really comparing and contrasting 2 different events in your life. You decide to revisit the paper and develop a whole new pattern to your writing. Or for a change in genres, pretend that you have a graded paper returned to you. It was an argumentative paper about recycling. You can change the genre and write a letter to an editor to continue to practice and rethink your argument. Second, work with others to receive feedback along the way. Rather than waiting until the end of your paper, look for feedback throughout. This way you are stopping and rethinking your writing as you work. You can do this several different ways. First, talk to your peers in the class. Try to encourage a peer review group. In this group, everyone can take turns reading each other's papers and providing feedback individually and to the group. Second, have a conference with your instructor. In the conference, bring your rough drafted notes and discuss with your instructor what you are working towards. Finally, use any online writing labs or visit one if you can. The writing lab can provide feedback on your work, but will also ask you questions that will have you rethink your writing as you are working. Third, create a writing portfolio. A writing portfolio is a collection of your writings at all stages. By keeping a writing portfolio, you can see how your writing has changed, what papers you have done well with, and what papers you can improve. Looking over your work will help you revisit and rewrite many steps of your paper. In addition, you can combine the portfolio with the first step of experimenting with genres and patterns. Visit your old papers and see what new ideas you can make with them.